What is up, my beautiful anglers and anglerettes? Welcome back to another episode of Catching the Real Life. We've got a bit of a different episode today. We've been gone for quite a while. We haven't made any videos lately, and there's a good reason for that. We have moved from the Central Texas area up to the DFW area. Work brought me up here, and so in the process of moving, we weren't able to go fishing as much. We weren't able to make videos. We actually did go fishing once when Nikita was up here visiting, and we couldn't find the GoPro stuff. It was in a box labeled GoPro stuff. So, we didn't have a bunch of video of that. And we've just been doing a lot of things around the house, trying to get out of boxes and kind of get back to normal life. But we have gone fishing a couple times, and we've got some video of that we want to share with you. But we just wanted to let you know kind of what's going on and what we've been up to while we've been gone, why there haven't been any videos. We do have a cool project going on here at the new house. We're going to tell you some more about that here in just a little bit. Hey, if you're watching this and you enjoy it, hit the like button for us. We'd really appreciate it. And we have this really, in YouTube terms, ridiculous goal. We'd like to hit 200 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button so we get to a whole whopping 200 subscribers. Whoop, whoop, 200. It's just cool for us to know that somebody else is watching this and they're enjoying. If you have a comment, leave a comment. We respond to every comment we get. We're happy to chat with you, so just let us know. Anyway, we hope you enjoy this video. We've got a ton of lakes up here in the DFW area that we are excited to mark off the list. There's so much to do up here, and we feel like so little time. Hopefully we'll get on that soon, and we will share those videos with you when they're ready. But in the meantime, here's what we've got today. You ready? This is how we start fishing trips now, with our brand new riding mower. What is up, my beautiful anglers and anglerettes? Welcome back to another episode of Catching the Real Life. We're at a new location today because we just moved. We're no longer in Central Texas. We're now up in the DFW area. And we got just enough land that we can justify getting this cool riding mower. It is battery powered. It's like the Tesla of riding mowers. This thing is amazing. It's amazing. All right, Nikita's taking his first spin around the yard. When we had a push mower, he never wanted to do yard work, but now that we have this, he's gonna want to do yard work all the time. Look at him go. All right, we're just gonna play with the toy some, and then we're gonna go hit our first DFW lake. This is definitely a Texas angling tour lake because we've never fished anything up here in North Texas before. We're excited. We hope you're excited. We'll see you on the water. All right, so we don't have video because we just moved and we couldn't find our GoPro. So we're fishing Eagle Mountain Lake, Texas angling tour, because we haven't fished this lake before. I caught a perch. I was really proud of myself. Nikita threw a wacky rig in, and he caught a big old carp. Dude, that is insane.
Cow. You can see where I caught him.
That is insane. Turn him sideways. Wow.
Oh, we gotta do like a John B photo. Here, let's swap. Dude, this guy is soaked. Biggest fish of my life right here. 10.7 pounds. 10.6, that's what it's set at. 10.6. 10.64 is what it finished at.
All right. So after our fishing trip tonight, we need a little more time on the mower. The dogs are loving it. Hey, raise the mowing.
Raise it up?
Yeah. We're just making our little NASCAR circuit out here in the backyard. Those LED lights are pretty amazing. And the dogs are chasing him. So we're living in a new place. We got a little bit of land to play on, but one of the coolest things that we have is we have like little beds here. Now, we are not farmers. We're not going to be growing anything. There was some mint that was left here before. But let me tell you what we are going to do. A-Bomb is digging this out right now because we are going to make us a good old-fashioned compost pile. And we're going to throw us some worms in there to fish with. So that's what we're working on. So we're starting a new project. We're going to try to get some really fat worms going in here. It's going to take a while. We will keep you updated as we go along because we want you to be able to see how the progress goes. So we'll keep you updated as we're adding dirt and worms and compost and all the junk. We eat a lot of like salad and fruits and stuff like that we can throw in the compost pile. So that'll be cool. I've been cruising around my new little mower today. Super fun as well. I'll probably be doing a product review on that. It has nothing to do with fishing, but it's super cool and I should definitely share it with you. So we'll be back. Boy, have we got something to show you today. We are still working on our compost pile worm bin, and we have made some additions to the compost pile. So we're gonna head out there and I will show you what we got going on. All right, A-Bomb has got this going. We dug a hole, we've already thrown some compost in. So she went to the Home Depot today and she got a nice cover for our worm bin. We're just throwing some handles on there for ease of use, of course. And we're actually gonna put some hinges on the inside so we can open it up and close it without any major struggle. We got a special delivery in the mail today through FedEx. It's a bag of worms, and we're gonna be putting the bag of worms in the compost pile. But of course, we're out here in the country, and you never know who might just roam up and mess with our compost pile. So we gotta have somebody on guard duty out here the whole time. Who do we have? There he is. Will Watchin. That's his name, Will Watchin. Middle initial B. Right? We'll be watching. He be watching the compost pile. All right, we got handles.
Did I put them too far back?
Uh-oh.
No.
Did we make a handle installation error?
No. What do I do now?
All right, so we didn't think this out too well, apparently. So that's a test run, and we're gonna try these handles again and put them in a more
Actually, we need air
advantageous
holes.
location.
I was gonna think of putting like air holes so that, because it'll get too
So that's
hot.
all we were doing.
Yeah.
That's all we were doing, making air holes
Yeah.
for our worms.
Yeah.
All right. We're very excited about this project because once these are up and going, we're gonna fish with these bad boys and see what we can catch. I will spare you the pain of watching us unscrew and screw in handles again, but that's what we're doing. This is what we're working on. Trying to get the old compost pile up and going so that we can take out some fat smitties and catch some fish. So we have a random tree stump just out in the middle of the lake, which seems to me like a good place for some crappie. Oh, I just got a bump of something. Oh, that's a fish. That's a fish. That is a little white bass. Really? That's... Hey, Binbrook Lake. Oh, sorry, dude. You are marked off the list. I just caught a fish, yes. Let's see if I can get something a little more interesting. All right, that was not a very ceremonious first fish, but it was a fish. So the good news is, if I don't like this lake, I don't have to come back. We are at home today. It's way too hot to be out on the lake fishing. However, I spent quite a bit of time yesterday doing a little work around the house. And man, we got a clean garage. Look at that. So we are out of boxes. Got rid of all the boxes. Got the flag up on the wall. Got a spot for the mower. And a spot right here for the boat. So why is the boat not in its spot? Well, very simple reason. Got the boat outside. So I went fishing the other day. You see a little clip of that. It was not a very eventful fishing trip. But at some point on the way back to the house, my strap on my battery broke. And my battery turned over inside here. As you can see, got a little leakage going on. So here's what I'm gonna do. Well, I went and got a new battery, so I'm putting a new battery in, but I want to get some of that battery acid stuff out of there. So I'm gonna flush out with some baking soda and water just to kind of neutralize some of that acid, and then we'll put the new battery in. Then hopefully we'll be good to go. I'm kind of disappointed and a bit frustrated in the strap. Like, this boat is like just barely a year old and that strap's already busted. I mean, I know the roads in the DFW area are bad, but like, they're not that bad that I've already got a busted strap. I'm gonna try to secure that better next time around. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're doing today. I'm replacing the battery, flushing out some of that battery acid, and then we'll get back to fishing. Hope the camera angle was right when I poured it in. It like nearly went to town fizzing there. So we're gonna leave that out, let it dry a little bit, and then we'll park her back in the garage, put the new battery in, and hope it works. All right, now that it's not 100 degrees outside, we are going to finish our battery installation. You can kind of see the aftermath. This paint is just peeled up right there. Let me cutting this strap off to put the new battery in. I mean, it just kind of generally made a huge mess in there. We're gonna see if we can avoid that happening again. That was very unfortunate. Once we have the battery installed, I have a special little something I'm gonna do today. We're not gonna actually be out on the water, but I got a little accessory that I want to share with you. So as most of you know, we got a new trolling motor than the one that came on the boat. This one has the spotlight feature. This one also has a remote. All right, so we have been trolling along with the remote for you know, the past few months that we've had this. So a quick little kind of product review, I guess, for this since we've had it. A couple of things about the remote that I like, a couple of things I don't like. So a couple of things that I do like. It's really handy to be able to sit back at the driver's seat and control where I'm going, right? The only graph I've got on this boat, I don't have anything up front. It's a really simple setup. The only thing I have is this little B7-inch Humminbird. I've got a transducer in the back here, right? So it's really nice to be able to sit back and look at my graph and guide the boat. However, a lot of times, you know, when I'm fishing for bass or something, I'm not necessarily looking for stuff on the graph. I'm going to places in the lake that are high probability locations to catch fish. And once I get there, I need to be able to fish. So that takes me to the couple of downsides of this. One, I gotta do this with my hands, so I can't be casting and reeling when I'm doing this. And that has proven to be very frustrating for me because, like, you don't realize it with your foot, but you're constantly making little micro adjustments with your foot. You know, when we first got a trolling motor and I'd never used one before, I wasn't making micro adjustments. I was like about to throw myself out of the boat because everything I did was so drastic. But you learn very quickly how to just make really minor changes, so you can be casting and steering the boat at the same time, and you don't even really notice what you're doing, right? Because you got 3 appendages going at once. I guess 4 because you're standing on the 4th one. Look, I got a visitor. He's just making sure that I'm not doing anything fun outside. So the downside of this is that I have to take a hand off my rod or reel to steer, and very quickly, if there's kind of a, I want to run along a bank line or something that kind of has some indentations and kind of a certain distance I want to maintain, very quickly I can get away from that distance if I'm not on my trolling motor, but I can't fish and be on the the controls of the trolling motor all the time. Now, this thing is really really sensitive, and so I'm impressed with that. It has a bunch of speed controls. Honestly, I feel like this has more speed variations than the foot pedal. It definitely does a good job of steering back and forth, so it's really responsive, and that's good. But again, just when I'm trying to steer and fish, it just doesn't work, because I'm having to constantly take a hand off and do this and fish again and then go back and then do this. So that was frustrating. The other thing that frustrated me is that this is powered with just 2 regular AAA batteries. Now, maybe it was just the batteries that came with it. Maybe they were just kind of old or something, but the batteries that came with this were not very good quality. In fact, in one of our earlier videos, you saw me having to deal with dead batteries in here. I feel like there's another choice that could be made other than AAA batteries that would last longer. Maybe it's just me. I'm not a battery expert, but it seems like there could be something they could use other than AAA batteries. I got a buddy of mine, well, D-Lin, like y'all have seen D-Lin. D-Lin has a kayak, and he has a trolling motor that has a remote. He's had that thing for several years, and he's never changed it. So, I don't know, I didn't like that very much. The little holders, little prongs inside here that hold the batteries are also not great. I've had problems with the batteries falling out and not staying in place. So I had to kind of bend those holders back in to keep them in place. The other problem I had is that it's not easy to change these batteries. If you're gonna put batteries in here that aren't gonna last too long, you want it to be an easy process to change them. But it's got these little bitty screws on the back. The first time we took this out, I didn't have the right screw size, so I had to try to find something. The next time I took it out, Nikita was on the boat with me. In fact, it was our first fishing trip up here in the new area, and we actually had to come off the water. Oh, actually, we didn't even get on the water, but we had to leave the boat ramp because this wasn't working. We had to leave the boat ramp to go to an Ace Hardware to buy one of those micro screwdriver sets so we could even get in here. So that was kind of a hassle as well, having to get the micro screwdriver set to get in here. Once we replace the battery, it works fine, and like I said, maybe new fresh batteries are going to last longer and do better than the ones that came in here. We'll see. But those are kind of some of the downsides. Now, the spot lock works great. Like I said, the speeds are really responsive. It's really easy to to turn off and on. So there are things that I like about it, but not having the foot pedal that I can use with my foot while I'm casting was kind of a bummer. Having said all of that, Motorguide does make a wireless foot pedal, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. Dun, 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 dun. So I got the wireless foot pedal, and I'm gonna be syncing this to my Motorguide trolling motor. I haven't really read the instructions yet, but we're gonna do this together. We're gonna see how hard it is to sync this to the trolling motor. My same complaint about batteries. This runs off of just 2 AA batteries. So if I'm constantly on this, I'm going to be interested to see how long those batteries last. I have a feeling that I'm going to want to make those rechargeable batteries. It's just something that when I come back from fishing, I pop them out and I recharge them, so I know they're ready to go next time. Again, these are going to work in tandem. So at least if one of them dies, in theory I should have the other one. But I still think I might want to just have some type of system where I'm constantly charging those to keep them, keep them ready to go. This has a little different feel than the cable system. It's just kind of, it seems a little more stiff, and so we'll have to see if I like that or if I don't like that. But the only way we can test that is to get it on the water. But first, we got to get it synced up. So let's see about getting that done. And we'll see, we're gonna kind of go through the instructions here, and we're gonna see how hard it is to get it synced up. But before I can do that, actually, right now my trolling motor has no power on it because it doesn't have a battery. So I need to get that battery area kind of squared away and get the battery installed. And so once I do that, then we'll go and we'll get this going. So let's get the battery taken care of. Alright, so just like I talked about before with my battery concerns, like we literally just changed these batteries, well, 2 fishing trips ago, and I popped this thing open. Well, I got this out to use it, just to turn it on and test it, and it wasn't working, so I had to replace the battery. Now, it works. Okay, so that's a major frustration that these batteries die that soon. I have to do a little research on that. Just to see if Motorguide, if that's a normal problem or if I'm doing something wrong. It seems like this thing is just staying engaged all the time, maybe, which is weird. So maybe there's a way to turn the remote off. I mean, after every fishing trip, I unplug the trolling motor, so I know it's not the trolling motor that is this pulling power. So I see if there's a way to turn this off. Anyway, that is a frustration already. So as I said, after the problem with the batteries with the hand remote, I'm a bit concerned about this because it's just got normal AA batteries. But we'll give it a try. Got the battery cover on there. Got a nice waterproof fit. It does have more of these kind of micro screws, which I don't really care for, but anyway, so one of the things I was concerned about when I saw this was this flat surface, and I kind of thought this flat surface on the surface of my boat is going to cause it to slide around when I put any pressure on it, because like I said, this is a lot stiffer than the cable version that we used to have. But Motorguide thought ahead, and they gave us these little rubber stopper things. So these things are not that easy to put in, actually. Alright, these little boogers are tough to get in. Did I get one? Almost. Yay, okay, I got one. Now I got the trick. Alright, so to put these in, you're going to want something to help you squish this little thing down in the hole. Because it is not going to go with just brute force. Once you kind of poke it down in there, it goes fairly easy. There we go. So from the looks of things, this is supposed to be pretty easy. I'm supposed to put this second battery in and then push and hold these 2 buttons together until it beeps it. So let's see what happens. Battery in. I don't hear it doing anything. Alright, here's what I think I'm doing wrong. I think I need to actually unplug and plug in the motor, not this. So let's try that. So we're going to unplug this motor, plug it back in, and then hold these down. I just got a little tone. There you go. Alright, so it turns out that was pretty easy. Here's the trick. It's all about unplugging the actual trolling motor and then plugging it back in. So there's a startup sequence that the trolling motor goes through, and part of that startup sequence, I assume, is finding things that need to be connected to it. So now, that works, and this works. Very nice. Alright, last thing, so I'm not draining the battery on this. We're going to hold down the anchor button here to turn it off. 2 beeps means it's turned off. And we're good to go. So that's it. Now all we have left to do is test this bad boy out on the water, which we will be doing in a few days. It's super hot right now. It's like 98 degrees outside every day, and I don't want to fish in that. But here in a couple days, there's some rain coming in, and it's supposed to be like 88 or something like that. So I'm going to go fishing in just a few days. Hey, if you have a lake that you think I should fish, let me know. I'm on the west side, so like if you tell me Lake Fork, I know Lake Fork's a great lake, but it's like a 2-hour drive from me. So I don't know, something west, right? What do you got in the west area that you think would be great? I'd love to check it out. So leave me a comment and let me know, and then I will let you know how the fishing goes at that lake. Hey, thanks so much for watching. And remember, if your hook's on the water, you can't catch fish, and we will catch at you next time. Later.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.